John, one of the things that has happened with this surge in real estate is a surge in real estate values. A lot of you are sitting on a home that is worth a whole lot more than it was 20 minutes ago, than it was 2 years ago, than it was 3 years ago. There was a big hurricane, and I can't remember the name of it, that hit Florida and did massive destruction before Katrina hit New Orleans. So several years back, in other words. And after that hurricane, State Farm made the decision that they were no longer doing policies that covered the value of the house. Instead, they're going to do policies, homeowners policies, that they state the value. And State Farm was the biggest player in the homeowners insurance world, and so everyone followed suit. And sometimes some of the policies, in other words, you buy a house for $300,000, we'll make up a number, and you buy a homeowner's policy for $300,000 to cover the home you just bought. And it might have an inflation clause on it that the next year it's a little bit more, and next year it's a little bit more, but it would not be unusual for a whole bunch of you listening right now to have a home that you paid $300,000 for, that you've got $350,000 worth of coverage with those inflation kickers on them, and the thing's worth $550,000, and it burns down and you can't rebuild it.
You can't build a driveway with $300,000 right now.
Yeah. And so what I'm telling you is that it is now incumbent upon you, because the insurance business changed as of that hurricane that I can't remember the name of. The insurance business changed, and it's basically stated value plus or minus inflation kickers, and the inflation kickers aren't enough.
Wow.
And so you have to revisit your homeowner's insurance once a year and make sure you have the right amount of coverage for the value of the house.
How will you evaluate your home on an annual basis like that?
I mean, you can jump on just one of those websites and look at it. You're not going to be far off, but you kind of know, I got $189,000 worth of coverage, and this house is worth $600,000.
Our neighbor just sold their house.
Yeah. So you know you're like way off.
Yeah.
And so you can toss that to your insurance provider, and they'll do a little research on it and tell you what to cover the house for. But you need to update your coverage because the value of your home is growing and your policy's not.
You know what really freaks me out is the millions of people who in 2020 and 2021, when the housing prices started to surge, took out a big home equity loan to pay for their new bathroom they want to get done during that gap. And now, not only is the insurance coverage not there, but they're going to be on the hook for that loan. They're going to be staring at a burned down lot, holding a check that can't replace the driveway. Plus, you owe us this equity loan.
Exactly.
What a mess.
If you'd refinanced the first mortgage, they would have required you to update the insurance, but many times a home equity loan doesn't.
Wow.
You're exactly
what a
right.
mess.
You're exactly right. So you could literally be upside down on the house, like on an old days in a car.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So what I'm telling you is get online at RamseySolutions.com and click the ELP for insurance and get a free quote on your car insurance and your homeowner's insurance, and keep your homeowner's insurance updated for the right amount of coverage. Because if your house burns down and you have 50% of it covered, you're going to build a very small house on that lot. I mean, you're going to be screwed up. And if you got a mortgage, your mortgage is probably less than that. You're going to end up with nothing.
That's zero.
You're going to pay off the mortgage and have a burned up lot.
Yeah.
That's all you're going to have. And so you're going to be in a mess. So make sure you keep your coverage up to date, and always price shop it with one of these insurance brokers. Now, the difference in a broker and somebody like State Farm, one of these name brands, if they've got a celebrity endorser, they're probably a captive company, meaning State Farm agents can only sell State Farm.
Or a lizard.
That's right. That lizard thing, that's the other one, yeah. And so you can, Nationwide can only sell Nationwide. Okay. And so, they're captive agents is what we call them in the insurance business. So instead, you want to get a broker that will shop a bunch of different companies and find you the best price in your situation. And so many times when someone goes to RamseySolutions.com, clicks on the ELP, and gets with an insurance broker and shops, they not only get the right amount of coverage because their house has gone up in value, but they also get a cheaper rate. And so if you're buying the same amount of insurance, a lot of people save $700-800 a year by changing their car and their homeowners, or auto and homeowners over. and because we're fairly lazy about our insurance shopping.
Sure are.
We get it in place. It's rip it and forget it, right? I mean, you just put it on there and you pay the bill, you pay the bill, you pay the bill, unless something comes up and shakes you up. But I'm telling you right now, I don't know what the percentage is, but I would guess north of 50% of you listening to me right now that own a home do not have the proper amount of coverage on your home because your home's gone up in value and you didn't update your coverage. And the insurance companies do not update it. They took that responsibility away from themselves and gave it to you.
And having sat in the middle of a street with somebody watching their house burn down on a couple of different occasions, that sounds like a nightmare on top of a nightmare.
Oh, it is. It's one of the most horrible things to go through emotionally. And then on top of that, to not have the money to rebuild is just a horrible thing. So make sure you're updating your insurance. RamseySolutions.com. Click on ELP.